Hello, listeners. Welcome to another insightful broadcast on Amogate Radio Communications. My name is Adeola Gbadebo, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the very first episode in this new series that we have, which is titled From Crisis to Opportunity: Reframing Economic Challenges for Strategic Advantage. From crisis to opportunity, reframing economic challenges for strategic advantage. We're living in a time when many individuals, businesses, institutions, and even nations are under intense pressure. Economic realities are changing rapidly. Costs are rising, uncertainty is increasing, and many leaders are being forced to make difficult decisions. Yet, in the midst of all this, one truth remains clear. Crisis does not only bring pressure, it can also create possibilities. This series is designed to help leaders, professionals, entrepreneurs, and decision makers understand how to respond to economic difficulty with wisdom, resilience, and strategy, rather than seeing crisis only as a threat. We want to learn how to interpret it as a possible platform for transformation, innovation, and long-term advantage. Today, in episode 1, we will be laying the foundation for the series by exploring the topic Understanding Crisis as a Catalyst for Opportunity. Understanding crisis as a catalyst for opportunity. Before we go deeper, let us understand why this conversation matters. In today's world, leaders are confronted with inflationary pressures, unstable currencies, reduced liquidity, higher operational costs, and shifting market conditions. Many are working harder but getting fewer results. Some organizations are struggling to sustain momentum. Others are tired, they're just trying to survive without a clear framework for how to respond. But history and experience have shown us something important: that some of the greatest innovations, strategic shifts, and leadership breakthroughs often emerge in difficult seasons. Hard times expose weaknesses, but they also reveal opportunities. They force us to think better, act smarter, manage resources, and carefully, discover new ways to create value. This is why this series is necessary. It is not merely about how to endure a crisis. It is about how to lead through crisis in such a way that the same pressure that others are complaining about becomes the environment where you discover your next level of relevance, and impact. For example, currently in Nigeria, everyone is complaining. We know how tight, difficult things are. A lot of people, more and more on a daily basis, are finding things very difficult. Survival becomes something that people are struggling with. Parents are unable to provide for their children. We say that our take-home pay can no longer take us home. The pump price is also being affected by the US-Israel versus Iranian war that has shot up oil prices, and which has further made the cost of living very high. Moving around has become, very, very expensive. It looks like opportunities are shutting down, are becoming slimmer. However, every day there are opportunities being created by this crisis. Every day, people are turning some of this hardship into further advantages, and they are leveraging on it to create new opportunities. So, what this series is about is telling us to be creative and innovative during the times of crisis. That as leaders, managers of resources, managers of people, managers and leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, even ordinary, I don't want to say ordinary people, even as everyone, as the day-to-day, as the activities go by on a daily basis, what steps are we taking? Are we considering to make sure that we are able to surmount all these, enormous challenges? Let's go into the body today. The question is, what is a crisis? A crisis is more than a difficult moment. A crisis is a season of intense disruption that challenges normal patterns, exposes weaknesses, and creates uncertainty. It tests the strength of systems, the quality of leadership, and the depth of our preparedness. So, a crisis may show up as inflation, declining revenue, policy instability, reduced purchasing power, high operational costs, market unpredictability, financial pressure in personal or institutional life. It can actually be a combination of one or two or all of this. Looking at all these things I've just spoken about, is it inflation, declining revenue, policy instability, reduced purchasing power, high operational costs, market unpredictability, financial pressure in personal or institutional life? All this, everything defines the current situation that we find ourselves in this country, Nigeria. But what makes a crisis significant is that it interrupts the familiar. It forces attention. It demands response. It reveals what has been ignored, what is unsustainable, and what must change now. So, what is opportunity? Opportunity is a favorable opening for progress, for repositioning, innovation, or value creation. Opportunity does not always come dressed in comfort. In many cases, opportunity appears disguised as pressure, change, or urgent need. Most times, opportunities are shrouded in darkness, covered in cloudy conditions. When old systems begin to fail, new solutions become necessary. When old methods lose effectiveness, new approaches become valuable. When customers change behavior, those who pay attention early can reposition early. When customers change behavior, companies must change strategy. So opportunity in times of crisis is not imaginary, it is real. The challenge is that only those with the right mindset, discipline, and vision are usually able to see it. Only those with the right mindset are able to position themselves or to reposition themselves for that opportunity. Many times, opportunity comes in form of challenges. It is the creativity and innovation with which we're trying to solve those challenges that throws open those opportunities. For example, during the lockdown, the year 2020, the COVID lockdown, many institutions shut down. People needed to still convene, to have meetings and to do things, and the idea of remote working came up. Organizations needed tools to coordinate themselves, and that was when Zoom made a lot of money. These people needed to have meetings, not only meetings, people needed to teach. Institutions, schools wanted to teach the students and all that. So that tool, which was Zoom, had been waiting. It's been there all along. It became Zoom's opportunity to expand and explode in their own, for their own business opportunity. It became their own business, real business opportunities. So only people with the right mindset, the right discipline and vision are able to see opportunities. It disguises in form of challenges, troubles. It is while trying to resolve those things, those challenges, that new methods, new approaches are developed, and those become new opportunities. Crisis and opportunity often exist together. After the break, we will continue with this. See you soon.
At Armor Gates Training, we believe professional development should do more than inform. It should transform how people work, lead, and deliver results. That's why we support organizations through conceptual insight, practical learning, and performance evaluation right at the intersection of leadership, strategy, and institutional transformation. Our approach focuses on practical learning format that professionals can immediately apply in their workplace. At Armor Gate, we don't teach theory alone. We equip participants with real-world insight drawn from almost 2 decades of organizational transformation experience. Our programs combine multiple learning methods designed for real-time measurable results. Through seminars, we facilitate deep conversation on key subjects. Using group exercises, participants collaborate, reflect, and think strategically. With case studies, they then sharpened analytical and decision-making skills using real industry scenarios. Through relevant videos, we spark insightful discussions using relatable real-life context. All in all, every participant develops an individual work plan, ensuring the learning turns into real action after the program. Our training programs are hosted in world-class venues across global cities, including Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Mombasa, Cape Town, Dubai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, London, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Let's work with you to turn learning into your organization's growth. For more inquiries, call +234 807 9574 151 or WhatsApp +1 610 504 6026. Visit www.thearmorgate.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Armorgate. Armorgate Training, transforming knowledge, interaction, and growth.
Welcome back to Amogate Radio Communication. And we have been talking about a new series, From Crisis to Opportunity, reframing economic challenges for strategic advantage. And today, in the first episode, we're tackling the topic understanding crisis as a catalyst for opportunity. Spoken about what a crisis is. It's a disruption. Comes in different form, and it can be a combination of many things. I've spoken about what an opportunity is. It's a favorable opening for progress. And I was talking about crisis and opportunity often exist together. So many people think crisis and opportunity are opposites. They are not. A crisis can be painful, yet productive. It can be disruptive and yet revealing. It can shut one door and open another. It can expose fragility, but it can also stimulate reinvention. For example, when resources become scarce, efficiency becomes more valuable. When imported alternatives become expensive, local innovation becomes more relevant. When customers become cautious, trust and value delivery become more important. When the market shifts, adaptable leaders gain advantage. So instead of asking only, why is this happening? A strategic leader also asks, what is this season making possible? What is this season making possible? What possibilities are there? What are the possibilities in these challenges, this crisis that is happening? What opportunities is it throwing up? The question alone, that question alone can change the quality of the leader's decisions. Let's talk about the leadership mindsets. which is at the heart of today's episode, the mindset shift. To move from crisis to opportunity, leaders must learn to shift. To move from crisis to opportunities, leaders must learn to shift. To shift, one, from panic to perspective. Panic clouds judgment. Panic clouds judgment. It doesn't allow you to see things clearly. Perspective restores clarity. When leaders panic, they overreact, make poor decisions, and create confusion. But when they gain perspective, they are able to interpret events more accurately and respond with stability. Number 2, shift from reaction to reflection. Reactive leaders move impulsively. Reflective leaders pause to understand patterns, causes, consequences, and options. Reflection improves decision quality. Number 3, shift from fear to foresight. Fear focuses only on possible loss. Foresight, on the other hand, studies what lies ahead and prepares for it. Leaders need the capacity to see beyond the current discomfort. Number 4, shift from survival thinking to strategic thinking. Survival thinking asks, how do I escape this? Strategic thinking asks, how do I use this season to become stronger, smarter, and more relevant? This is one of the key goals of this series, to equip leaders with a mindset and framework needed to interpret disruption strategically rather than reactively. We want to equip leaders with the mindset and frameworks needed to interpret disruption strategically rather than reactively. Why does this matter now? Why is it important to take this? Why is it important for leaders to shift in their mindset? For leaders within Africa, and particularly in Nigeria's dynamic economic context, the ability is no longer optional. It is a leadership necessity. Conditions are changing too quickly for anyone to rely on old assumptions alone. Leaders must now build resilience, sharpen decision making, manage risk intelligently, optimize little resources, and remain innovative under pressure. Those who thrive in uncertain times are usually those who can reframe adversity into strategic advantage, optimize limited resources without compromising value, identify emerging trends early, and lead with confidence despite uncertainty. This is what this series will help us to do. For this is the forte a leader should be made up of. So for today, what are the practical takeaways for our listeners? As we begin this series, here are 5 important takeaways from today's episode. 1, do not define a crisis only by its pain. Pain is real. Pain is real, but it's not the whole story. Secondly, every disruption carries information. Every disruption carries information. A crisis reveals weaknesses, inefficiencies, neglected needs, and hidden opportunities. Number 3, mindset is a leadership asset. Mindset is a leadership asset. Before strategy improves, thinking must advance. Before strategy improves, thinking must advance. Number 4, opportunity often begins with problem solving. If you can identify the right problem and respond effectively, you are already on the path to relevance. It's a matter of time that you will be singled out for leadership. And the 5th thing today is that leadership is revealed most clearly in uncertainty. It is in difficult moments that true leadership is revealed. Crisis tests the strength of leadership. Easy times do not test depth. Difficult times do. So as you reflect on today's episode, I want you to ask yourself these questions. What current pressure am I facing in my work, leadership, organization, or personal economic life? Have I been interpreting it only as a threat? Or have I paused to examine what opportunities may be hidden inside it? What needs are emerging around me? What inefficiencies are being exposed? What adjustment do I need to make? What mindset do I need to change? Please do not listen to this series passively. Engage with it intentionally. Reflect deeply. Take notes. Share with someone who needs it. Everyone needs it anyway. And begin to train your mind to see beyond pressure into possibility. Whatever the mind can see, whatever the eyes can see, the mind can see, the man can achieve. In our next episode, we will be looking at economic realities today, interpreting the signals and trends. We will discuss real economic signals leaders must pay attention to, including inflation, currency volatility, market shifts, and why understanding these threats is critical for sound leadership and strategic positioning. As we end this episode, remember this: a crisis is not automatically the end of progress. Sometimes it is the beginning of reinvention. What breaks comfort can also awaken creativity. What creates pressure can also produce clarity. What looks like a setback may become the very platform for your next strategic advance. The key is to learn to see differently, think strategically, lead intentionally, and shift your mindset. Thank you for joining me on episode 1 of this series, From Crisis to Opportunity, Reframing Economic Challenges for Strategic Advantage. I want you to, we're trying to get your feedback. We're looking forward to getting feedback from you. You can respond to us through our email, contact at the amogate.org, contact at the amogate.org. And you can also go to our WhatsApp line, +234 810 999 6666. We're on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. All at Amogate. But more importantly, go look for our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and I promise you that it's a bank of resources. You can go through many of our broadcasts, not from me alone, but Amogate has broadcasts all through the week, Mondays through Fridays, and the same time, which is 5 p.m. West African time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you for staying with us on today's episodes. This has been episode 1 in our series, From Crisis to Opportunity, Reframing Economic Challenges for Strategic Advantage. I want to end this episode with this quote. Those who lead well in crisis do not merely endure disruption, they learn to convert disruption into direction. Stay resilient, stay strategic, and keep turning challenges into opportunities. God bless you.
Harmogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Harmogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theharmogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666 +234 807 957 4151 and +161 0504 6026. www.theharmogate.org. Harmogate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.